All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Armando, good morning. I am guessing that the sound is coming through and we are live. Quite a bit of action this morning on crude oil, looking really nice. Our right out the gate, starting with, I don't even know which one to point to here. There's several winners in a row, and if you grabbed one of them, this one happened really fast, maybe too fast. Yeah, I mean, even if you're anticipating the setup, you got like 2 seconds to get in on that one. This one here, a bit more time. Hopefully that's the one. If you guys are trading this mini plan, you caught that. It's pretty nice. 19 ticks, 30 ticks. It even hits target 3 for 40 ticks and then stops out. And if you miss that, then you got this one, which hits targets 1 and 2. And if you miss that, you got this one, which is still going. So plenty of opportunity in crude oil this morning. One and done, spotlight. Of course, you got the crude oil inventory report coming up in an hour. And the pound Aussie. My chart's looking a little weird just because it didn't load properly, but you could see the great short trade that's still going. There we go. Got short at 88.27, just went through all its targets, trailing lower. 87.96 is the stop, still going. And yeah, I'll just have to reset this chart, but you get the idea. Unleaded gas. Unleaded gas. Also a super fast trade there, hits its targets, but that's not going to help anybody. And yeah, really almost had a short trade here, and it got canceled. This is a little nuance in the code, which is unfortunate because it missed, would have been a great short trade. But if you'll notice down on the histogram that it goes from oversold to overbought really quick, it's a sensitive histogram, and that overbought canceled the oversold. It's a thing in the code that was a decision that had to be made years ago, because when you're writing code, you kind of have to have something that cancels certain things. And anyway, it's a long story, but when I first originally created the strategy, that would have been a setup. And it doesn't happen very often. Like, we never notice this, but I'm noticing it now. So that's too bad, because it would have been a winner. So instead, there was this trade. And that trade also would have been a winner, except that it got stopped out. Barely. So a little loser there. And then a winner. And the winner is larger than the loser. So, 2 trades, marginally successful in the end. 37 tick loss. Targets 1 and 2 are 43 ticks and 67 ticks. I mean, it still would have worked out, but you can see this original, what would have been a trade here, still would have been a better outcome. Look how accurate that target 3 is. It's amazing how that works, isn't it? Anyway, that's unleaded. And good morning again, everybody. Hello, John, Crazy Ivan, Ron, the other John, Miles, Armando, of course. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And I guess my work is done, so everyone have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. No, just kidding. Let me know if you have any questions about any of that. Quick look at, the YM, of course. YM which just started a moment ago. Not really. Well, that first trade got in really fast and stopped out. If anyone grabbed it, not sure, but that one would have lost 18 ticks. And another trade, I don't know how quick that went, but that one did hit its target one for 13 points and then stopped out rather quickly as well. So the YM's still trying to get it done for us. Keep an eye on that one. Catapult Trader, you can see some early movement. This particular plan, I've got the automation running. I don't even remember which plan this is. I know we were looking at this the other day. Let's see, this is version 1. Okay, well, that makes sense. So you can see, let's see, version 1 is so this plan is 2 winners and a positive result, or 1 loss, whichever happens first. And what happened first was a loss. So that's why you see the automation doing 1 trade. Doesn't mean you can't keep trading, and there's certainly other versions of it. You could see a target 2 winner. This one just really fast in and out. And these are the kind of trades that you usually miss because you can't get them executed fast enough. So don't usually count those, but you can. Another target 2. That one hits target 3. It's really what you want to go for is target 3 at least. I mean, you can make money at target 2. Target 2 has got a positive risk-reward ratio, so you can scalp at target 2 and be successful with it, risking 23 ticks, making 28 ticks. But when you throw some slippage in there, you're probably closer to a 1-to-1 ratio. I like target 3 more, 1.65. And that's basically 165% return. You risk 100, you make 165, basically. Anyway, you can see here, target 3 gets hit. Here, targets 3 and 4 gets hit. Here's a break-even trade. The move up, you miss because the lines just stay green. You never have a re-entry opportunity until the short. And the short, obviously, is winning. So Catapult did have the first losing trade. And that's the thing about a one-and-done type of trade plan, or 2-and-done, or 1 loss and then you quit or whatever. You have to be super disciplined, and you realize that the results of this plan happen over time. They don't happen in one day. And then heating oil. Well, let's get back to the YM. The YM did get long just now. Obviously, you can't pay attention to all these charts at once. But this is the power of quitting trade for the YM. So count that as a fast loss, small winner. Did that hit target 1? Yeah, barely. And then now this. And that's good for 20 points and 31 points. So Spotlight continues to kind of hit on all cylinders as it typically does. And this also is a demonstration of, let's see, this is a unique plan on heating oil. And heating oil hitting a winner here. And it's showing that this is a losing trade. It's the break-even trade. It shouldn't be. And the reason why, I don't even know why. I think that the automation settings are not matching the calculator settings, is my guess. So I would need to get in here and check the calculator settings, make sure they match. But notice everything's gray, and that's because this is using a unique set of inputs on the calculator where it goes from 9:30 to 11:30, and those are the only trades that it will print. Everything before that time or after that time will be grayed out, and that makes for a pretty interesting trade plan that literally is produced a curve like that. Just made new equity highs yesterday. Today's still going, obviously, but on 648 trades, 75% win rate, almost $50 of contract net profit, and a 208 profit factor. So I've shown you this already, but you can see it working here. One of the flaws to automation also is just that, it's based on the bar's closing. So this bar here, it's showing an entry down in here. I don't know why. So I'm just guessing that there's an input that's off. I'll have to double check that. But anyway, there you go. Interesting, huh? Trade plans work in mysterious ways. And that heating oil plan, by the way, is not like, let me just double check before I say it. It's not like the unleaded gas plan, which I told you, the one we're showing. And there's certainly variations. You could do different power of quitting formulas. The one I showed you was two winners or one loss, whichever happens first. So it's going to be one trade a day or two trades a day. If the first trade wins, you can take a second trade. First trade loses, you're done. But this one on heating oil is just you're trading through the 9:30 to 11:30 window up to 6 trades or 4 losses, whichever happens first. That's the plan I just showed you that graph on. That's a lot of trades actually, but it shows robustness. So you don't have to do that many, but it works, as you can see. 600 plus trades is a lot. So with that being said, first trade winning, and I will check these calculator settings to make sure they're right, but here's the next entry. 20655. And could you adjust that up to 5.6? Yeah, I mean, you probably should. I don't know if it matters, but the automation does not have that, and the results are pretty good without key level adjustments. Usually when you add key level adjustments, the results even get better, usually. So let's just figure out if we can determine why the calculator did not match up with that trade on the left. It could just be because, the calculator is based on the bar closing, but it's still, something's off. I can't figure it out what it is yet. Yeah, I don't see it actually. Yeah, I mean, everything's matching. So, that's weird. I don't know. Maybe the simulation is assuming some slippage or something. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why that would do that, because it shows it stopping out at the entry. It just shows the entry getting in down here instead of here. So that's something weird happened. I don't know what, but anyway, there you go. So here you can see it's long again. You got to take the automation for what it is. It's not perfect. It's a good beacon that points you in the right direction, gives you answers, real important big answers to big overriding questions. Like things like, when is the best time to start? Why did I gray out everything prior to 9:30 and after 11:30? What is the best quitting goal? Et cetera, et cetera. And also, this is not a standard default setting on the calculator. There's a unique difference. And this was discovered with automation as well. The 10 tick breakout on the entry instead of 2 ticks. That made a big difference on this trade plan's results. It also messes with the risk reward ratios, because now you're adding 8 more ticks to the risk and taking 8 more ticks away from the reward, But we get insurance as a result, so it keeps us out of noise. And you can see by that ever rising equity curve, it works pretty well. So you don't have quite the risk reward ratios on it. So you want to at least go to target 3, which is almost 1-to-1, and target 4, which is better than 1-to-1, and trail. So I would go target 4 and trail with this, or target 3 and trail. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with that either, because it wins 75% of the time. So if you're getting almost 1-to-1 with a really good ratio of a 75% win rate, that's a profitable business. Does that make sense? Risking 31 ticks to make 30. Add a little slippage. So I've been in discussions with my team, and it looks like we're going to do a special Catapult Advanced boot camp coming up on Thursday the 26th is the date I think it will be. You'll be getting some information about that, and I'll announce more on it as we iron it out. But that's going to be a boot camp all about the Catapult automation. And then the grains boot camp that you've heard me talk about, and some of you have already pre-registered for it. We have a date for that as well. September 9th, Thursday, September 9th is looking like that's when that is going to take place. So 2 boot camps on the schedule. And you guys are getting the first notification about it at this moment. Heating oil just first losing trade. So winner, loser, and another trade. Short at 20594. Targeting 564, 554. And the stop says 625. I'd definitely go 626 on that one, and it may end up canceling in a moment. But here's a good example. If you look at this setup, where the setup bar would have been at 0602 if we had a 2-tick breakout instead of a 10-tick breakout for the entry. And it hit 02, and then it would have stopped out. So giving up a little extra to push that entry further down prevents a losing trade. You see, so that's exactly what I meant by the value that you get from a little insurance policy, which takes away from your risk reward ratio, but then improves your win rate. So you give up something to get something. And even though the risk reward ratio is a little bit not as much to our favor, we get extra value out of it by what it provides, protecting us from noisy setups that would fail. Hey, John. Yeah, that was offered. John's asking about the pre-reg for grains, and that was offered when when one was checking out for the energy boot camp. Everyone had a chance to add grains at the pre-reg rate, which was a really great deal because it was only $4.97. The price has gone up now since then. Still discount because it's going to go up more. But yeah, that's what that was. So a bunch of people already grabbed that. I'll be right back. John, yeah, I'm back, by the way. Good morning, Pamela. I'll look into that for you. So that's true. VIP. Well, it depends. There's two levels. There's gold and platinum. So platinum is getting catapult advanced. So let's double check and see what you got. I'll work with you regardless, so you don't have to worry. And it's, you know what, having that's a really good idea because whoever has grains will automatically get the automation for that too. So the advanced automation membership is a really good membership, especially if you're into catapult. Because literally you're going to get all the automation for any catapult there is that you've taken, and it just gets added to the membership. So it's a pretty good deal. So I mean, usually I end this session in about, we got another 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. So we still got a little time. I mean, everything's kind of done. Everything hit its goals. Obviously, the catapult heating oil's still doing its thing. But the YM, another winner. It's another small little quick loser. Again, when you see these types of things where you have the bar that just has a tail that barely enters and then moves up, usually that happens right at the beginning of the bar and is too fast to grab. I mean, you have to kind of be there to know. You can see that it like 8 seconds. So usually it just kind of pokes down, pokes up, and before you can react and enter the trade, it's over and you avoid a loser. But when I'm back testing, I always like to make sure. So what I will do is I will open up like a 10 or 15, 20-second chart, which you could do with TradeStation, and I'll literally draw lines across these levels, and I'll see what happens first. I'll see, was it a trade that could be executed or not? And if it could have been executed, I want it in my trade logs. I want my trade log to reflect reality. So I'm referring to the UTA spreadsheet, right? Because really the UTA spreadsheet, you want to experience everything. And you want everything in there so you get accurate results. If it could not be executed, you don't want it in there, right? Because that's also going to give you results that aren't accurate. So it's easy to find out. Let me just show you. We could do it right now because, well, this is a teaching trade room. So I'll show you how I do it if any of you guys are ever wondering what to do in this case when you're doing your back testing, which I know all of you are doing, right? Each and every one of you. So we could see that this is from 840 onward. So basically, I'm going to change my symbol to a second chart. Let's do a 30. I'll do a 15-second chart. I know there's going to be a lot of bars, even though it's only been a few minutes. So let's see. This was at 8:40:24. So let's go back and find 8:20. What did I say? I already forgot. Kelly Bundy syndrome's hitting me now. Yeah, 8:40:24. All right, so 8:40:24. All right, so that's right in here. So the entry was at 299. So let's find 299. There's 299 right there. And 8:42:24 is, well, that's the bar that touches it. You see how that bar, you could already see that's the bar, and that's at 8:40 and 30 seconds. So it stabs down and back up. You'd have to drill down further and see how did it we have 15-second bar here. It stabs down and it literally moved back up again, and it appears it probably was too fast to grab. But if you really want to know, open up a 5-second bar and then see, because then you could really pinpoint. I like this figure. If you had 7 or 8 seconds to grab the trade, you have to count it, because if you're good at executing and you've got your set up properly, you should be able to execute a trade with 7 or 8 seconds. I know that's fast. You have to be good at it. But that's why you have a sim account and you practice and you get your 25 in a row without a mistake, which I know you're all doing that too, right? Every single one of you. But the point is that if you want to be true to what you're doing and really figure out if you're going to succeed, you want to be accurate with your trade log and your testing and your executions, etc. And it makes a big difference when you see a trade in the plan. I mean, this isn't even in the plan because we already hit power of quitting, but let's just pretend it was. A setup like this happens where it just barely stabs down and comes up again, because momentum bars are like that, right? It may not be tradable. So you have to determine if it is. And that's a way to do it. You drill down. You draw your line, you find your timestamp on the faster chart, and you make an assessment on whether you could have executed it or not. In this case, with a 15-second bar, it appears it was too fast, but still, I mean, what if that happened 10 seconds after the setup? Well, let's see. That's 8:40 and 30 seconds. What did I say the other one was? 8:40, 24 seconds, 8:40, 52 seconds. So 8:40 and 24 seconds is your setup bar. 8:40 and 30 seconds, this one finishes. That's 6 seconds later. So I'm going to say that it stabs down and moves up 6 seconds after the setup bar on the other chart. The trade is too fast. There's no way you're going to execute it. So that losing trade is a non-trade, and it would not go into the trade log. Does that sound right? You guys in agreement with that? You see what I'm doing? All right, well, I'm always trying to take advantage of a teaching moment, especially when they happen. That seems to be like it was a good one. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about and that I have a little bit of your attention. There is a short trade on heating oil. This is the third trade in the plan. It got short at 0.589. Remember, you're going to want to target 3 and 4. So it's targeting 559 and 549, and the stop says 0620. I definitely would go to 21. Again, the plan doesn't have key level adjustments. And the reason why is because it's a continuous chart and it looks back into the past several months, and it's a 1-month contract. And TradeStation and Ninja with continuous charts have a way of back adjusting the prices that occurred in the past to smooth out the transition between contracts so that there aren't these huge gaps. That's the problem with a continuous chart. When you're back testing, you never test a continuous chart manually. You always use the contract. But you can't really do that with automation, because the automation can only look at the data that you provide. The contract is 1 month only. So if you want to get the big picture, you have to do a continuous chart. But then you have to turn off key level adjustments, because you'd be adjusting around numbers that never occurred. The trades, the patterns, everything's identical, but the actual scaling, the number that they land on changes as the chart back adjusts to smooth out the gaps between contracts, if that makes sense. So we never use a continuous chart with real back testing with the UTA spreadsheet. Anyway, that trade breaking even. John, I'll check that out for you. But yeah, platinum is in. You're good. The Platinum membership's really good too. The VIP Platinum membership, for the cost of one winning trade a month, you literally have access to all my stuff, past, present, and future. It's a sweet deal. I mean, I've been told by so many people it's too cheap and I should raise that price. But it is what it is, and I'm going to keep it at $297 a month for now. And whoever has that, I'm never going to raise your price. I mean, that's grandfathered in because I don't do that sort of thing. All right, guys. So unless there aren't any more questions, I'll just be standing by. I don't know what's going on with this chart here. It just doesn't want to update. It's really weird. TradeStation can be buggy sometimes. Usually when that happens, you got to kind of status everything off and then on again, which I thought I did already, so that's annoying. The mysteries of technology. There we go. So you could see where the pound Aussie finished, stopping out at 87.87. That got short at 88.27. 88.27 to 87.87. What's that, 40 pips? Maybe 38 pips after spread. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. JDS, Platinum and Diamond. Well, okay, there's there's a few different memberships. So the Platinum and Diamond has to do with Spotlight Master Suite. So Spotlight Master Suite, and I'm guessing that's what you're referring to. John was referring to the VIP Platinum membership, and that's completely different. The Platinum membership that John was referring to is just it's a membership it's a one monthly charge, and you get access to all my stuff. With Spotlight Master Suite, there's a gold, platinum, and diamond level. I mean, there's a silver level, but that gets kind of folded into the gold level. The silver level is just Sub-Zero, but the gold level is how everyone starts out with Spotlight Master Suite. You get Sub-Zero as well. The platinum is the automation to that. Now, the Spotlight gold level is the original Spotlight Power Trader. And when it first came out, it was part of the NetPicks Inner Circle in those days, several years back. It was a brand new strategy, and the way to get it was to join their inner circle. Since I spun off my own business about 3 years ago, I just made it a standalone product, but I also changed it and rebranded it and made different levels because there's been developments on it. All right, so basically the gold level gave you the original 3 setups: the pink, the blue, the green, and the yellow. I know it's 4 colors, but the pink and the blue is the same setup, just one's long and one's short. Not the dark blue, the lighter blue, right? So you get the pink is the overbought trade that gets you short. The blue is the oversold trade that gets you long. You got the yellow trade and the green trade, okay, that which pops up sometimes, and I think we just saw it. We just saw it on the pound Aussie chart happening right here, the green trade. Those trades, that's the Spotlight Power Trader. The platinum level is the automation upgrade to those setups. Okay, but since then, since that was developed and it's been out and doing great and blah, 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 I developed it further. And I had another strategy, and I never released it to the public, nor did I really have a name for it. I just used to refer to it as fun with moving averages because it was kind of fun. And also, it was just unique. It was a way of using some moving average techniques, combining them with the Spotlight Power Trader system techniques also. In other words, it was a merging of these two ideas, and I integrated that into a more complex calculator, and that is what later became the diamond level, the Spotlight Master Suite. That's why it's called Master Suite, because it's got Sub-Zero, Spotlight Power Trader, and the fun with moving averages concepts. And the fun with moving averages was actually merged into the Spotlight Power Trader calculator. Sub-Zero has always been kept separate. So what that gave us was the diamond level, and it literally gave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more setups. So you have the original 3 Spotlight Power Trader setups, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5, 6 more setups, which do different things based on moving average concepts combined with the Spotlight concepts. And that has made for some pretty great stuff. And then, of course, the diamond level has its own trade assist automation also, which I pretty much, if you get up to the diamond level, I make the automation a bonus, and you get that as part of the deal at no extra charge. At least that's the way it's been lately. All right, so that's what that is. That's the difference between gold, platinum, and diamond level as it relates to Spotlight Master Suite. There is no diamond level VIP. Platinum level is the highest. And the platinum level is $297 a month, literally a single winning trade a month, and you get access to all my best stuff in the past, all my current stuff now, and anything I come out with in the future, no matter what the strategy is, and the automation for only $297 a month. Again, it's just way underpriced because it's just it is what it is. But I'm happy to do it. I want to build that membership up because one winning trade a month, I think it's fair. It's more than fair. You get to come to all the boot camps. You get all the software that comes with the boot camps. And I've got new stuff in the wings that I'm really excited to announce and show you and release, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm finding as I get older and older and been doing this longer and longer that I just can't, do everything that I want to do as fast as I want to do it, unfortunately. But I still try to load that membership up with value. The crude oil inventories, has it any influence on heating oil? Yeah, Johnny, great question. It very well could. It makes sense that it would. I know that we see unleaded gas respond very well. So I would just recommend opening up a heating oil chart and start watching it. And then it would be very easy to back test. You will not be able to get enough data in the past to really hang your hat on, but you can start. In other words, you can get enough data to get a running start, and it'll give you a good fast test view. If you see if you can go back as far as you can, it just depends on what chart you're using. If you're using a range bar, you can only go back like 90 days or something. But if you can if you're going to use a tick chart, you can go back further, maybe 180 days. So you get a lot more data. But remember, it's only one session a week. So that's the thing. It's not 5 sessions a week. You really want to get 75 to 100 samples to get some reliability on your stats when you're testing, right? So, but it's a good start though. And if you look back 90 days on a 20 tick heating oil chart, for example, and you see that over those sessions it won most of the time, that's a good indication. If it didn't win most of the time, it still doesn't mean it's bad because it's not enough of a sample. Either one is not enough, but you want to see it win because that shows you, hey, you may be onto something. Then you just have to look at it going forward, start, maybe for the next month or two, keep tracking the trades and start practicing it and see if you could execute it. And then the question becomes, well, what strategy? I don't know if Catapult is the right strategy. It might be. It might be. It might be too fast and sensitive. I don't know. I know Spotlight does great with unleaded gas. So it very well could work on heating oil too. On the other hand, if it does really well on unleaded gas, maybe that is a good replacement idea. You could check both and choose the one you like the most. So, great question. Hard to give a straight answer because I just don't know. I'm going to point out what's happening here on Catapult heating oil. You could see that these are very accurate. Look how accurate target 4 was. Here you see it blasting through again. And the problem with what's happening in this trade plan is that the break-even money management stop moving down is, remember, it's really sensitive because with the scalp and trail trade plan, it wants to put you in a break-even position super aggressively. And you're going to miss some full winners sometimes. It's going to save you losers also, like in this case. But you can do a variation of this trade plan. Like if you're interested in this particular trade plan, which is a good reason to be, because like I showed you, it seems to want to win a lot. But you could also then copy paste the chart and work with a different money management technique where instead of breaking even aggressively, you look to just reduce risk on the trade and then get to break even not quite as aggressively after the trade has progressed further down. And then that might change a lot of your results, right? That could really make a big difference. But that's one of the beautiful things that the Trade Assist automation does for you, is that you can do that sort of development. Like you can see it here. We're witnessing it in live time, right? We're witnessing the benefit of a break-even, really aggressive, and the detriment where it prevents two full winners. So is there a happy medium? Is there a compromise? Is there a way to kind of, keep your stats, keep that equity curve growing over hundreds of trades with a high win rate, but a higher average net profit and a higher profit factor? There might be. I mean, I try not to develop these trade plans too much. I want to leave something for you guys. I want to show you how to do it and teach you. And I don't try to make things perfect. I try to make things good so that they just work, right? And that not everything works. Sometimes it breaks, but the idea here is that I want you to also make it your own. And so I'm just merely pointing this out. I know a lot of you are using Catapult now. It's a brand new thing. It's been really, really great. If you're on the Trade Hacking Club on Discord, we're getting a lot of, we have members that are just killing it every day, and they're sharing the results online, and you guys should be on that club. But anyway, I'm just pointing this out because there are ways that you can step to, you could put that interim reducing risk step in there before getting to break even. And that's a great concept. These are things that I will definitely be covering in greater detail in the boot camp. So with that being said, Len Pavia, unfortunately, that first trade of the day was impossible to get into, gapped really fast down. Yeah, so all right, well, I mean, is that unfortunate? Really? Maybe not. I mean, it is what it is. I try to remain neutral. I hear what you're saying, and maybe that's the reason that the entry shows down here. So, but the reality is then you wouldn't have taken the trade anyway. Automation isn't perfect. But I'm glad you lived through that and you're bringing that up because, I mean, these are range bars. These are fast charts, and Catapult is a fast strategy. One thing I have not done with heating oil, which I have done with unleaded, but I've kind of, again, I'm leaving this open because I can't do everything. But going to a slower chart might be interesting as well. So like with unleaded, I've looked at a 22 tick, a 24 tick, a 27 tick, a 33 tick, all range bars, right? And they all produce great, just different, but great. But I've never done that with heating oil. I've just stuck with the 20 tick range. So that's like an area of exploration that's just waiting for somebody to embrace and to do. Ron asking what the tick setting is for the break even. And I believe it's 10, but let's look. So, and I gotta end this because the crude oil report's coming up in 10 minutes. But it's just, I think it's the default use break-even money management stop. When you set that to true, that means it's going to hit target 1. It has to hit target 1, and then it also has to go X number of ticks. So these two inputs work together, and in this case, 10. So it has to hit target 1 and go 10 ticks. And target 1, because it's a range bar, should always be the same because you always have 20 ticks on the bar, you always have 10 ticks on the entry. So target 1 it's exactly 10 ticks. So money management is target 1. And that's only half a bar. I mean, think about it logically. The bar is 20 ticks, but it only has to go 10 ticks to get to break even. And so what you're going to run into is it could hit target 1, come back down, hit target 1. It can go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, and then finally go 1 tick further, and then that gets the next bar printing. But the automation isn't going to show you the break even stop until the bar closes, the next bar opens, and that's why it shows stopping out on the next bar. In reality, you may have stopped out on the same bar because when you get to target 1, you're quickly moving your stop to break even. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. You get stopped out, then it goes up. And so, you have to understand how it all works so that you know how to work with it and improve it. And it could be that target 1, 10 tick break even stop it's based on the bar closing because it's created an automation. And if you're doing it intra-bar and live time, your results won't be the same. So this is based on after the bar closes, then you move the stop, because that's how the automation works. The automation cannot work intra-bar. So these are all nuances, right? And that's why I say automation isn't perfect, but it does give us information that we can build our own trading plan around and learn from. But we also have to understand the limitations and how to use it and how to interpret it. So, Ron, your question opened up that topic, which is actually a really good one. It was a good question, and it was a good chance for me to actually bring that to all your attention. You have to remember, the way Catapult works is based on the close of the bar. And that's also something, if you're trading Catapult with Thinkorswim, and maybe if you remind me on the next session I do, I could open this up and we can look at it together live. But with Thinkorswim, they have a flaw in their platform that the trades will print before the bar closes, intra-bar. So you're at the right edge of the chart, you have a 20-tick range bar, and if it's a 10-tick, at that point, it meets the criteria. The line goes from red to green, it prints a setup, and then it disappears again because it goes back down, turns back red, then goes back up, and you see the trade printing, disappearing. You have to be disciplined and know not to take those trades until after the bar closes, and that's just a drawback. You have to practice that. You have to work within the limitations of your platform. The solution to that, so Jeremy's noticed that on Thinkorswim because their range bars, quite frankly, Thinkorswim is just a crappy charting platform. Sorry, it just is. I mean, they're good with other things. I use Thinkorswim, don't get me wrong. I've got 3 different accounts, 4 really. But I place trades, but I'm usually swing trading, not day trade. I do like their active trader window. I do think there's some benefit to it if you could work within its limitations. And I'm certainly not backtesting with it. That's like sitting in a dentist chair and having a root canal. I mean, literally, the same with MT4. Try backtesting with that. It's like, yeah. And not just range bars. Yeah. So you see, it is what it is, but you can learn to work with, you can learn that. You just have to be disciplined and practice. I mean, there's things about Thinkorswim. You can still trade and make money with it. And you can get free data. That's kind of nice, even though data is not that expensive. And I personally, I'm saying that half-heartedly because I still think you're better off paying for data, getting the best charting, because really success comes from building your foundation properly and believing in what you're doing. And does the one-legged butt kicking contest come to mind? You understand what that is? You're in a one-legged butt kicking contest. I want you all to have that vision in your head. The only thing is, a lot of people learn how to cheat and use 2 feet, 2 legs. But you're still hopping around on 1 leg, trying to win that contest, a one-legged butt kicking contest. Imagine that. Who's getting their butt kicked, right? Well, that's kind of what I think of Thinkorswim. You could use it. You get a really strong leg if you get good at it. Might even become a bionic leg. But you're trading against people with 2 legs. That's the point. So, it's a penny wise, pound foolish thing. Don't skimp on your trading tools because trading's too important. And it boils down to building your foundation properly, really. Because you can learn how to execute the trades and do okay. You can do fine. But can you believe in what you're doing? Can you build your backlog of trades, your back testing, and your practice and get it right so that you know your trade plan will make you money 100%? All you have to do is execute it. If you don't have that belief in what you're doing, your odds of success, one-legged butt kicking contest. Just think about it. Are you the one hopping around on 1 leg? Many of you are. You just don't even know it. You wonder why you can't succeed and it never works. You see the strategy winning, it's not translating into your own account. I hope your leg's getting stronger. All right, enough of that. I got to tune out because crude oil's starting soon. So we're going to close up, and then I'm going to open up the new session in a couple minutes. Thank you, Don. Hope you guys enjoyed the session. Please give me a thumbs up before you tune out of this, and then back in a moment.